What's going on, YouTubers? It's Mopar Man 1978 out here on a lot better day. Feeling a little bit better. We finally got some rain that we so desperately needed yesterday. I mean, instead of one of them little 10-minute showers and then it getting hot and nasty here, we actually got a good soaking, and it actually cooled the area down and was nice for a while. And today it looks like we might be getting some more storms. Of course, I say today, it's kind of this evening. I come out here, we had mostly a cloud cover today, and so it looks like we might be getting some more storms, hopefully tonight or maybe tomorrow or whatever. And speaking of tomorrow, I'm going to attempt to go back to my job tomorrow and see how that works out, see how I do. I only got to work, I think it was like 4 or 4:30 to close, which is like 9:30, 9 or 9:30 at my job for tomorrow and the next day after that. So hopefully no issues. Need to get back to making some money and getting these projects taken care of, but don't want to keep rambling on about that. Enough about me. Let's get on to the project I've been working on since part 1 video of the cooling system low budget modification on the SLANT 6. Let's take a look here. Alright guys, it's a little low light over here. The sun's starting to go down, but anyway, let me walk you over here. I put my back towards the sun so you guys can see this lovely freshly painted clutch fan that I did yesterday. Put a couple good thick coats on it and let it bake out in the sun, and then let it cool down and dry overnight in front of a fan. And got that all squared away, got it looking good. And in the last video, I was going to alright guys, come back here to get the old fan going, keep the any possible mosquitoes from chewing me up off of me. I had to stop by O'Reilly's today. I had to get some 1-inch coarse thread bolts instead of the like the ones I was telling you about. I took that carburetor stud kit back. I went with 1-inch. It would be just better to run these. The only modification I want to do is take this little lip off of here, off the top of the head, because when I put it on the clutch here, that lip comes real close to touching the back side of that clutch, and I just want to make sure there's enough of a gap in there that it's not rubbing, which it's technically not, but under load, just in case the fan shifts at certain RPMs, I want to make sure it's not going to start rubbing. But anyway, you know, a little extra precaution, that sort of thing. But anyway, maybe overzealous on that. But anyway, give me a minute here to get the phone set up and start working on this. Alright guys, couldn't find my seated stick for the to hold the phone up, so I had to tape the phone into position here. Let's see real quick. You can see that. Hopefully this tape will hold long enough for me to video this. Anyway, got my tops of the bolts ground down enough. What I'm going to do is I got to install the clutch clutch onto the fan first, and I'm going to use a little blue Loctite on the threads just to be on the safe side. I always do this. And but anyway, alright guys, back from doing a little grinding. Let's get this fan attached to this clutch. Alright guys, hopefully that's better. Now you can see what I'm doing now. It's kind of hard to stabilize this on the fender, the flat fender part of the Dart, but anyway, let's see here. Alright, sorry this takes so long. Had my 1/2-inch wrench out here and it either fell off when I wasn't paying attention or got misplaced or something. Anyway, let's get going on this. I had to use a crescent wrench. Better than nothing, I guess. It didn't take too long to get all my sockets and stuff out, so I'll just do it this way. So anyway, this is a first for me to be able to come out and work on this car for at least a couple weeks. So I'm happy to be out here. Anyway, Alright, let's get this situated. I got the bolt holes already lined up. So it's just a matter of getting the should probably take the slack off the alternator. That would probably help. Okay, correction, I meant not take the slack out of the belt, but take the tension out of the belt, loosen it up. Anyway, I have to get these bolts started in here first. It's going to be interesting, juggling these. If I can just get them started, that'd be great. Yeah, see. Well, looks like I'm going to have to end up taking the radiator out, which, no big deal, I don't have it bolted all the way in. There's always something that's got to be in the Murphy's Law or whatever. Okay, there we go. So now, I got the radiator out. Let's get this lined up. Okay. And you got the two bottom ones installed. Now we can set that up there. Okay, now I'll have to improvise a better solution on how to put this on here. Anyway, you basically have to get two of them started set the clutch down on the 2 bolts, and then when you got the when you flip it around, you get the other 2 holes upright. You got to push the fan back towards you and start the bolts in if you're going to use regular studs. Get them started and slowly go around to each one. Do a few turns on each one until you can start getting the clutch closer and closer to the rotating assembly on the water pump. Keep them lined up, because what's happening right now is the head of the bolt is rubbing up against the back of the clutch until you can take the slack out of the bolts. And get them to where that nose that comes out of the middle of the rotating disc on the front of the water pump, get that lined up. It'll slowly get lined up with the hole on the back of the clutch. You just got to rotate this whole assembly, work on one side and then work on the other, and back and forth. And I don't want to go too long on this. I'll go ahead and pause this, come back, make it look like I edited the video so you don't have to watch me the entire time. Alright guys, gals, didn't want to bore you with trying to get all this put back in here, so I got the alternator all bolted back up. As you can see, see if I can focus in on that. There we go. I had to, like I said, rotate this assembly with the tension off the belt, take the belt off, start 2 of these, flip it around where they're on the bottom side so the clutch can sit down on the bolts, and then start the other ones on the top, and give these a few turns here and there, and then work your up, down, around, all the way around until you finally get it down here tight. Now, this isn't on here. This is on here probably like, I would say 98% of the bolt down surface, the tightening surface, but that nose that comes off of the water pump directly in the middle will fit right inside that hole on the back side of this flange here. And see if I can get down in here some more. There we go. As you can see, that built-in washer on the head here of the bolt just barely sticks out past the flange. I would say, oh, maybe an 1/8 of an inch on each side, but a majority of the flange and everything else, plus the nose that comes out back here behind the flange, it goes into the base of the clutch, is all anchored. It's not going to go anywhere. Let's see here. You can see, let's see if I can get back here a little bit. You can see how much of a gap I got now between the top of the head and the back of this clutch part that rotates. See, I got plenty of clearance, and this fan ain't going anywhere. And as you can see, I've got between the blade and the fan itself, looks like a good inch between the clutch and between the blade and the radiator, an inch, at least an inch. Between the clutch and the radiator, I got probably 1/2 inch, maybe 9/16, give or take. Anyway, there is the, move around over here, refocus, there you go. There is the Mercedes 1977 Mercedes-Benz 280 SE clutch and fan on my 1965 Dodge Dart. And I've got between the fan blade edge and the top of the radiator here, I've got maybe almost an inch gap. Same thing at the bottom. I rotated the fan at the bottom. There, it's not touching anything. It's going to provide a lot of cooling, which is good. Not a lot of drag. Have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. I came out here since it was cooler. I still have the fan to keep the mosquitoes and stuff off me. What ones are still floating around, but anyway. I'm going to at some point either get an aluminum piece of pipe here or stainless steel, polish it up, get rid of that rusty pipe out of there that looks horrible, or I Frankensteined it. This thing's about ready to be fired up. Just got to put some oil, some coolant in, and I'm going to take the battery out of my truck in order to crank it over. I'm not going to do it in this video, but I'm not going to run a shroud. Don't need it. As long as you got a good radiator and good cooling system, and the fan is within up to 3 inches between a gap from 3 inches on down to an inch or a half inch of a gap between the fan and the radiator itself. That pulls plenty of air through there. And anybody wants to know about this radiator, I'll have that in the description below. This is for like an 80s or early 90s. I think it's an early 90s actually. Dodge Dakota with the V6 or a 4-cylinder or whatever it is, some small motor. I'm going to cut these fan shroud tabs off. I've already cut some weird mounting bracket that was up here. It's plastic with a rubber O-ring and a grommet or washer or bushing or something in there. I cut this off. I might clean that up a little bit more. I fabricated my own radiator mounting plates out of galvanized sheet metal and sheet metal self-tapping screws for like carports, and it all works. I got my radiator cap put on, but anyway, I rambled on. This is about 20-some minute video. Didn't mean to take that long, but anyway, hope you enjoyed this part, and stay tuned because this is part 2. This is the last video as far as that's concerned. The next video is hopefully me getting this fired up and running and idling and stuff, so stay tuned for that. Take care.